Hi, welcome. I am going to do a monochromatic kind of makeup look, and I love monochromatic, meaning kind of keeping everything in one tone or one shade. And I thought, inspired by this great little sweatshirt I got at Walmart, if you can believe it. It's got a little hood on the back and everything. If I can figure it out, I'll figure out how to post a link. But yeah, Walmart has such great stuff. I love these. It actually has like the little thumb in it. So these are so comfy. I'm all about the comfy right now. So welcome. If I haven't met you before, I'm Karen from 50 is the New 50 blog. And I'm going to do a monochromatic kind of plum makeup look with my cream makeup and my and some eyeshadow too. So let's dig in. Let's jump in and get going. I haven't been feeling that well lately, so glad to be back on and get some makeup on. It always makes me feel better. I don't know if that does the same for you, but I know getting dressed and putting on some makeup always makes me feel better. So thanks so much for joining me. The first thing I'm going to do is show you my palette that I'm using today. So this is my cream makeup from Seint. And it has my cream contour, my cream foundation shades. I've got 3 of them that I work and use together. And then I've got my cream lip and cheek shades. And again, aren't they gorgeous? So I'm doing this whole plum, kind of plum. Hello. And I'm going to have, this one's actually called Plum. Yes. And Black Cherry. So this one's more of a matte or satin shade. And this one's a little bit glossy. And I like to combine those two. And then in the other side of my compact, if you've never seen these before, they kind of flip open like this and everything's magnetic and sits in here. I'm going to use a little bit of this bronzer first. It's called Heatwaves. It's a little bit of a warmer bronzer. It's not, I would say it kind of has more of some red undertones. So I'm going to put it on underneath my foundation first. So it'll kind of warm up my skin tone, help kind of with some of my discoloration, just kind of warm up and even things out a bit. If you've never used bronzer first underneath your makeup, give it a try. It really does, it works great. And there's different bronzers that I can color match you to. This one happens to be one of the new ones called Heatwave. A little powder illuminator, and then I'm going to use these fun eyeshadows. So again, keeping with that kind of plum monochromatic theme. So let's jump in. And if you have questions for me as we go along, I'll answer them all at the end. That way, if somebody needs to take off and just wants to kind of see how the makeup works, click the little question button and I'll try to make sure to go back and answer questions when we're done. So thanks so much. All right, let me get started. So as I said, I'm going to start with a little bit of bronzer. And I'm just going to pick up this brush here. It's the blush and bronzer brush. This end here is really the one that you can use for bronzer. You dust it in. Can you see a little bit of the color? And then you can just swirl it on. I'm going to go a little bit more intense and pick up a bit more of the bronzer. Can you see kind of that reddish tint? I don't know if you can see it on my skin. And then I'm just really going to buff that in because there's nothing on my skin right now, except for, on my face, I should say, except for a little mascara on my eyelashes. And I put a little color in my brows. But other than that, we're starting with a bare face. Yes, and can't stay on but interested in the color match. Oh, awesome. Flourishing over 50. Love your handle. Love it, love it. Message me. Message me and I will just DM me and I'll send you the link to my online color match form. It's so easy and so fun to do. So I would love that. So what I'm doing right now is putting on some bronzer first underneath my makeup. So already you can kind of see this warmth I'm getting to my skin. And this one's called Heatwave. I'm going to put it underneath my jaw. Even though I have a little turtleneck on, I'm still going to pull a little bit of that color down. All right. So that is just putting some bronzer underneath. And I'm going to then go ahead and go over the top. I'm doing this fast because I don't like these to go too long. Everybody gets kind of bored. So warmed up with some bronzer underneath. Now I'm going to go back to my 3D foundation and I'm going to start with a little bit of my contour and I'm going to put that on. But the cool thing is now that I already have some warmth to my skin, I don't need a whole lot of makeup, which even with this makeup, you never need a lot of it. It's really pigmented and you don't need a lot. So this brush is called the Detail Brush. Looks like a little broom on one end. It's great for contouring, and then it's also great for applying makeup in smaller areas with the two ends. Love that they're all two-ended brushes. So I'm going to pick up some contour, and I'm going to bring some contour up into my hairline, up along my forehead here like this. You can bring it down as far as you want on the side of your forehead, and also as far as you want across the brow or the front of your forehead. And as you can see, it's just adding a little bit of a shadow, just kind of leaving hopefully this part of my face a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter, and a little bit darker around the edges, okay? I'm gonna pick up a little bit more like this, and we're gonna swoop some up underneath our cheekbones. And I like, when I say swoop, I'm actually kind of doing this little kind of smiley face right up underneath. I'm not going straight down, but I'm actually just kind of cupping and feeling up underneath my cheekbone. So do the other side, just kind of a swooping. I can feel my cheekbone kind of pouncing over the top just to soften it a bit. The contour is actually going to be part of my foundation, so it actually has coverage in it. Color and coverage. You can see that. I'm going to put a little bit down along my jaw. So again, I'm loading that brush just by kind of swiping over and tapping. I'm not really digging hard. The contours are always a bit firmer than your cream foundations. The texture, the consistency is a lot firmer. So you don't have to worry as much about kind of swiping over and getting too much on. You definitely want to load the brush. And then I just like to bring some right along my jawline and under, just to kind of emphasize and give my jawline some definition that I'm starting to lose, like we all do. Stuff underneath here, all that fun stuff. So again, as little or as much as you want with the contouring. As you can see, not a lot, but I didn't completely, blend it out too much to where it disappears. All right, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a little bit of my highlight or foundation shades. Now I'm going to start from the darkest to the lightest. The darkest one here is called Mango, and I like to use this shade kind of underneath my eye, on my eyelids where I have some hyperpigmentation, and just a very small amount, if you can see. So some of the color correcting or the darker shades really work great, like if you have sunspots or age spots that you need a little extra coverage. Redness or rosacea, purple, broken capillaries, scars, anything like that that just tend to, you feel like you need just a little bit of extra coverage, or you need to kind of color correct some of that. And that's really all I'm doing. Like here, lots of kind of hyperpigmentation, I guess. So not a lot, just a little. And a lot of times my main shade will cover and pick up the rest of that. So again, I like having the option. When I color match my clients, I pretty much always color match you to 4 pieces, your contour, and 3 highlight shades, which kind of create your 3D foundation. So a darker color corrector shade, a main shade, and a brightener shade. All right, I'm gonna flip my hair back as it's bugging me. I'm gonna grab this brush that I had used before to apply the bronzer. Don't really need to clean it off. I'm just gonna dab now right into my main color. And you can even mix. What's so great is, let's say you're in between. So you can even dab back and forth between the 2 colors. You're just pouncing just a bit on. And then I'm gonna look at my face and very lightly apply my main shade. So I'm just tapping and then tapping. And really, I don't need a whole lot because I've already put some bronzer down for color. I've already, in some places, like over here, I applied a little bit of my color corrector. So just a little bit of this makeup goes such a long way. I'm just kind of checking in the mirror so you can see. And, I'm kind of blending and tapping as I go. The brush really doesn't have any makeup on it right now. I'm just kind of doing some blending kind of as I go, and then I'll blend at the very end just to make sure I haven't missed anything. And then the lightest shade is this one here, which is kind of like your brightener shade, where you can add a little bit of brightness to the inside of your eye, the center of your face here, this part, okay? So it's fun to add some brightness. Some people may say, oh, you're adding your concealer. I kind of go at it a little differently. I actually use a darker color corrector shade underneath my eyes to conceal under eye darkness and discoloration. Then once that's done, then I actually use a lighter highlight shade. And I put that on the inside of my eye here. And it's only 1 or 2 shades lighter. It's not super bright than my main foundation shade. And I'm just kind of just lightly placing just a little bit of this brightness. I don't know if you can see it coming through on the camera. Just in the center of my face here. So down my nose. Okay. Inside of my eye, but not directly underneath. I'm not painting it on here. And then I like to put, this is the new way for us gals, a little bit out here above my contour to kind of give myself a little bit of an eye lift. Right here. And then I'm just going to go back to this brush. Again, it doesn't need to be cleaned off, but I am just going to tap over that color just to kind of blend it in so it's not sitting on top of my skin real harshly. But when you blend, you don't want to completely wipe things off or blend too much, but you do want to soften any of those lines. Okay, so that's all I'm doing right now. I just want to double check, make sure that that's all blended in. Oh, good. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're able to see that. Thanks, Arlene. Okay, that's my 3D foundation. So I put bronzer on first. I put a little bit of a Heatwaves bronzer down on my skin first. I had already put some mascara on and I had already put a little bit of color in my brows. Then I contoured and I added my 3D foundation, you know, a darker shade, a medium shade, and a lighter shade. And then let's go ahead and add some monochromatic, since that's what we're doing today, this kind of plum. So I'm going to use plum first, and this is more of a matte. I'll put it on my lip. Excuse my lovely nails. I'm kind of giving my nails a break. Do you do that? They need a break. The poor guy, between, you know, kind of putting on the fake nails and the press-on nails and things like that. Just giving them a little bit of a break, letting them see the light of day. So I put a little bit of the plum on my lips, and then I can put the black cherry glossy over the top. I think that matches. Very pretty. And we can do the same thing with our cheeks. I can put a little bit of the plum down first. Okay, it's more of that matte. And I can put a little bit of the glossy kind of out here on the end and mix the two together. So kind of the plum and the glossy black cherry. And then I'm just going to use this side of this brush again and tap over and up just to kind of soften that. Isn't that pretty? So that is not, even though this color looks so dark, when you put it on, here, I'll just even just put it on by itself. Can you see that? When you put it on, the glossies are more of like a stain. And then you can just tap over to blend. So I like to mix my matte shades like this one here, which is called Plum. And then I like to put the glossy ones kind of over the top and mix the two. It gives me so much more variety and it's just awesome. So I'm just going to blend those together. Kind of pull it up. And if I find that I got a little bit too high, I can take a perfector sponge and just press and lift that off. I think I got it straight. But really, really subtle. It's not over the top. It's not like super bright red because of the plum color is really, really pretty. I love that. Okay, so if you're just hopping on, thanks. Hey, I see some of you just now joining us. We're just doing kind of like a plum monochromatic makeup with cream makeup. This is my 3D palette from Seint. So I just did my 3D foundation, some lip and cheek, plum and black cherry. Before I started, I had put down some Heatwaves bronzer just to warm up my skin tone to start with, and I used a lot less makeup that way. At this point, I can set my makeup, take a little bit of setting spray. I can spray it all over my face, but my new way is I love to shake it up and spritz it right on the end of that big fluffy brush. And you can see how it looks wet. and I can feel it. That's where the setting spray is actually going down on my skin. Might as well set my brows and let that dry. That way I'm not spraying it all over my face. I am so sorry. This, I'm just gonna have to pin it back again. I'm gonna have some bangs that are just going wild this morning. There we go. Okay, so setting is done. Setting spray. Cream makeup, you always need to set your makeup when you're done. Really important. And that'll help hold it throughout the day. Once that dries, it won't look so shiny. Okay. Dry, dry, dry. I forgot to put a little bit of my illuminator. This is called Photoshop, and it's a powder illuminator. And I just think it's so fun. Just to put a little, can you see that shimmer? I'm just gonna put a little bit right up on the highest part of my cheekbones, right above that blush. You can even put a little bit down your nose, a little bit on your brow bone. Just a really soft, kind of shimmery powder illuminator. And I usually use cream illuminators, but I love these powders too. They're so pretty. I don't know if you can see all that shimmer. Oh, good. You needed more. Yeah, needed more setting spray. It's important to use that setting spray. And if you already have setting spray at home, you can use up what you have. Just make sure that it's water-based if you're going to be using it with this cream makeup, because we want to stay away from the silicone, but the water-based ones, yeah, it really makes a difference. You can set with setting powder as well if you feel like you need that extra mattifying, or if you are more oily or combination skin. But I think the setting spray for most of us works on its own just great. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick eyeshadow with I've got these eyeshadows in here. So this one is called Pup, P-U-P. I'm going to grab my eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this kind of neutral, it's almost, I don't know how to describe it, like a taupe, almost like a pinky taupe brown. Really nice, almost a khaki taupe. I love it. It's just such a great neutral. And I'm just kind of pulling that across my lid, kind of from outside in, because I'm trying to avoid getting makeup outside this part of my eye, outside of the brow, trying to keep everything lifted and in if I can. So that's just a nice neutral shade called Pup. I looked at the bottom of these before I put them in. Did you know that you can use your lids to pop your tins out of your makeup? So keep some of your lids. You see that little bevel on the end there? So you can just slide it in between like this and pop things up so you don't get your fingers in them. So the darkest shade, this one's called, the lighter shade, this one's called Cranberry. So I'm going to use a little bit of this kind of, sorry, make you dizzy here. So this was Pup, and now I'm going to use a little bit of Cranberry just kind of as an accent shade, picking it up, tapping off some excess, and I'm just going to pull some just kind of right across, right in the crease just a bit, just pulling that in from the outside in. And if you have hooded eyes, you want to bring that up just a little bit higher. So you're in the crease, but then you want to kind of leave your eye open and just pull some up. This is our cleaning tile. So if I wanted to make sure that the brush was kind of clean and dust off any pigment that's on there, and then I just have a naked brush, they call it. So now I can just, with really no extra color on it, I can take and just work on doing a little bit of blending. Okay, so let me go back to that Cranberry mid-tone shade. Right in the crease, kind of pulling it across. We're doing a monochromatic kind of a plum. This color is called Cranberry. It is a little bit of a shimmer, but it's not like a really shimmery. So I think it's really great for mature eyes because it doesn't really emphasize any crepiness. And I'm just kind of cleaning this up here, pulling that up and in. So I put Pup first, a little bit of this Cranberry shimmer, and then this shimmer here, I forgot again. Oh my gosh, can you say like menopausal brain? Eve. Okay, and then the darkest one that really matches this shirt, this dark plum shimmer. Can you see that one there? That's called Eve. And I'm going to put that one down along my lashes and kind of like in the outside here, just as an accent shade. And I might even pull a little bit underneath. So I'm going to use the other side of that eyeshadow brush. I'm going to set this down now so I can, but I'm tapping into that darker shade. Okay. Now, I want this to go kind of like right here and here, like in a number 7. So, right from the outside of my eyelash, if you need to hold your eye taunt, that's fine. Outside of my lashes up to kind of at the angle of the outside of my brow and then over. Like that. Can you see that? Whatever's left on the brush, then I think I'll just pull down underneath my lashes. And then I'm going to flip this other side of that brush over with no powder on it. And I'm just going to swirl it. Just let the brush do the work. I'm just doing little swirly motions and pulling that color in. And then, again, you can use that cleaning tile, little cleaning tile that fits right inside your compact. It's for eyeshadow. It's for your eyeshadow brush. So that just added just a little bit of color and definition to the outside. A lot of times what I'll do after I do my makeup is then, even though I had put my mascara on first, I'll do a little bit of mascara at the end, again, just to kind of clean them. So I'm picking up this darker shade called Eve, loading that brush and tapping off any excess. Then I'm going to do like a backward 7 on this side. I'm going to hold my eye taunt. I'm going to look outside of my lashes, kind of draw. You see that? Kind of drawing a line up to the brow bone and up into the crease and on the brow bone. I'm trying to kind of keep everything inside of my eye here. Because if I put stuff way out here, I'm just kind of pulling my eye down, right? So whatever's left on the brush, I'll just pull underneath those bottom lashes just for a little soft liner. And I can even pull some across the lashes here as well. I think I forgot to do that on the other side. And then take the fluffy end of the brush, making sure that it's clean. And then I'm just gonna put the brush in here and just kind of do little swirly motions, lifting and working in. And you just let that brush kind of disperse and soften the makeup. So it's not really muddying everything up, but it's helping to soften it a little bit. If you need to clean up any fallout, you can take that same brush that you had used to apply your brightener shade and go back into your brightener shade here. Pick up just a little bit, and I can go under here and I can just kind of tap a little and just clean up if I feel like I just got a little too much on the outside. And that really just gives your eye such a lift. I don't have a ton on, just a little bit, just to kind of clean up under there, like that. And when I'm done, I usually go back with a little bit of my mascara and I just kind of go over the lashes just a bit. I think it kind of cleans up, brightens up the mascara, and it kind of removes any fallout of makeup that might have fallen under. Excuse me, I'm not feeling the best. I have a little bit of a cold, so got the sniffles. Okay, I don't know if I missed any questions or comments, but I told you I would do those at the end because I just didn't want to waste, do that. And those of you who can't stay on for very long, just wanted to get the makeup on, show you some this monochromatic eyeshadow look. I'll just go over really quick again if you just now popped on. I used my Seint 3D foundation. If you want a color match, message me and I can color match you. This is what we used today. So first, thank you. First, we did some Heatwaves Bronzer underneath my makeup first to warm up my skin, give myself a little self-tan, a little warmth. Then I flipped over and I did my 3D foundation, contour, and my 3 highlight shades, my color corrector, my main shade, and a brightening shade. All 4 of these are shades that I color match you to when you do your color match with me. 2 lip and cheek shades. We were doing this monochromatic look. I used Plum and Black Cherry. And then we did an eyeshadow look. So I did Pup, Cranberry, and Eve. These 3 colors. Just a really quick, simple eyeshadow look. So, oh, and I forgot. A little bit of Photoshop Illuminator. Just that little shimmer up on my cheekbones for a little extra glow. Thanks so much. Hey, thanks for hopping on early for me. It's early here. It's 9. Well, it's a little bit after 9 a.m. here out here in Idaho. I hope you're having a great day, and reach out to me if you have any questions or would like to get color matched. I look forward to it. Have a great one and talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.